Hello viewers, you are welcome to this video, and what we're going to discuss is academic writing, specifically the characteristics of academic writing. Now let's look at what academic writing is. Academic writing, we say, is a piece of writing that is composed by consulting multiple sources. And when we talk about multiple sources, we are looking at the sources of information such as books, journals, magazines, newspapers, information on the internet, on whatever topic that we are writing about. And academic writing is usually a type of writing that is based on research. Research that has been conducted, then you report the findings, or you discuss a particular topic within a particular discipline, or you write by synthesizing research that has been conducted by others. And you know, academic writing takes place in the university settings for research purposes and for teaching purposes. So now let us look at some examples of academic writing. Examples of academic writing: we have the academic essays, we have the long essay or the project work or the project report. We have the term papers, we have the dissertations, we have journal articles, and we have conference proceedings. Now, the academic essays are usually given to students as assignments. The long essays are usually written at the end of the course, usually at level 400 as a requirement for graduation. Then we have the term papers, which are usually used as means of assessing at the end of the semester. Then the dissertations and the theses are usually written by postgraduate students, those who are offering their masters or their PhD. And majority of academic research is published for a wider readership, and they are published in journals as articles. And apart from being published in journals as articles, academic or research findings are also presented at conferences where we have conference proceedings. Now, let's look at the characteristics of academic writing. One of the characteristics of academic writing is that sources are cited in academic essays, and the sources are cited as evidence to support the claims that are made. And the sources that are cited, they are acknowledged. They are usually acknowledged using a particular documentation style or referencing style, such as the APA, the MLA, or the Harvard style, which is a topic that we'll be looking at later. Another characteristic of academic writing is that the language used in academic writing is formal language. And when we say it is formal language, what it means is that the language is devoid of colloquial vocabulary. You have to avoid colloquial vocabulary, such as using words like okay, dad, kids, boss, etc. And then also, you have to avoid the contracted forms. You see, you write cannot and not can't. That is, not that's, etc. Okay? So, academic writing, the language should be formal. Another feature of academic writing is that passive voice or passive sentences are preferred. What does this mean? What this means is that in writing, you avoid instances where you project too much of your person into the writing. So instead of writing, for example, I interviewed 5 participants, a passive voice is 5 participants were interviewed. Okay? So instead of saying I gave or we gave the patients placebo, that is active construction, it is preferred that you write the patients were given placebo. Then instead of writing, for example, I collected data from 3 sources, it is preferred that you use a passive voice which says data were collected from 3 sources. So the passive voice helps you to hide the doer of the action and focus on the action itself. Now, another feature of academic writing, which is closely related to the use of passive voice, or the reason for which passive voice are used is that academic writing needs to be impersonal. What does it mean to be impersonal? That means to avoid projecting your person or your feeling into the writing. So to avoid this, you don't have or write sentences like I think, I feel, I or we, and such pronouns need to be avoided. And one way to avoid them is to use the passive constructions. Great. Now let's look at another feature of academic writing. Here we have academic writing has a defined structure. And this defined structure is made up of the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Now, the body has a number of subheadings or chapters within it. The body is made up of other headings like the literature review, the methodology that is used to conduct the study, the findings or the results, and the discussion of the results. All these go into the body of the academic writing. Then we have the conclusion. Great. So in this video, we have discussed what academic writing is and the characteristics of academic writing. Thank you.